Welcome back to the action-packed world of Cobra Kai. Season 4 takes us on a thrilling ride through the highs and lows of our favorite karate rivals. Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence decide to work together and teach their students together. Kreese also decides to recruit some help and contacts his old war buddy, Terry Silver. Robby crushes at the Cobra Kai dojo for a few days where Kreese and Tori try to convince him to join them, but he remains reluctant. Johnny and Daniel decide to learn each other's style themselves to have a better understanding between them. Kenny joins in the middle of the school year as a new kid, but he is bullied by Anthony LaRusso and his friends from the first day. He tells his older brother, who is in juvenile detention, who points him towards Robby for help. Tori is trying to support her family with multiple jobs, and Amanda visits her at work one day to insist that she stay away from her daughter, Sam. Tori loses her cool and her job in the process, and Amanda gets a visit from Kierce later on who tells her to back off from Terry because she got a rough life. Once they decide to work together Johnny to take the students from Miyagi-Do to learn some more offensive techniques, while Daniel teaches Miguel and the rest of the Eagle's Fang the way of the Miyagi-Do. After some initial teaching problems, the student eventually get the hang of it. Robby takes Kenny under his wing and teaches him and the rest of the Cobra Kai recruits in ways of Miyagi, though Terry Silver comes back and decides to hold back on the part of violence that has been running so far. He and Chris visit Daniel and Johnny to offer a temporary moratorium on all fighting until the tournament. Silver wants to focus on winning the tournament and expanding Cobra Kai rather than seek out revenge. Chris gets uneasy with Silver's approach, but goes along with it with Silver joining the fray. Then he wants to take full charge of the students. But Johnny doesn't agree to that. They both get drunk and decide to fight to decide who gets to take the lead. When the fight ends in a draw, they decide to speed back up and get up and go their separate ways. The All-Valley Tournament Committee decides to make some changes to the tournament style, introducing a skill competition as well, splitting the men and women into two divisions. While Cobra Kai is glad to hear these news, Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang consider it a minor setback due to their gender split. Miguel head out to recruit some girls to their team so that they can compete in a women's division. While Hawk joins Miyagi-Do to strengthen their men's group, Jamie still had to deal with Anthony and his friends who constantly terrorize him. Daniel tries to bring in Anthony and teach him the ways of Miyagi-Do, but Anthony lacks the patience and discipline to learn it all. He lies about his role in the issues with Kenny and eventually pays a price, and he picks a fight with them and intentionally gets cut with strong evidence. The school realizes that Anthony and his friends were the aggressors and suspend them. Prom comes around until he attends withdrawal being as her date. They get into yet another scuffle with Bill and Sam at the after party. And this leaves things between Miguel and Sam a little shaky because they got caught up in their rivalry when all they wanted was to have a simple, fun night for themselves. Miguel comes back home to find Johnny all drunk and beaten up. He puts him in bed when Johnny decides to bare his feelings in the air. Miguel ultimately realizes that he's drunk and Johnny thinks he's talking to Robby, and this ends up hurting Miguel. The day of the tournament arrives, with all the dojos coming together to compete for the overall championship and for Chris, LaRusso, and Lawrence to find out the outcome of their bets. Eventually, Sam and Terry make it to the finals of the women's division set up by this hanging grudge match. It comes down to the men's semifinals where Robby faces Dimitri and Miguel faces Hawk. Dimitri puts on a good fight, but Robby goes through. During Hawk's fight with Miguel, Miguel ends up holding his bag to bring the match to a halt. Miguel ends up with a monster ball, and the doctor advises him to go by his gut. When it comes to carry on, Johnny gets caught up in the occasion and gives him a pep talk about going out there to prove he's the best. But with so much going on in his mind, Miguel decides he's just not in need anymore. He does not come out again for his semifinal, sending home to the final via forfeit. Haqua and Robby face off in the final, where Robby dominates early on and pokes Luke for advice and Daniel tells him to lean in to hear more offensive routes. There's an intense back and forward, but no one comes out on top, and the final reaches 3 minutes time limit and moves on to sudden death. Silver tells Robby to really use his anger and go all out, while Daniel tells Hawk to just go out and give it his best. Hawk ends up scoring the winning point and succeeding Miguel as the next only men's champion. Amanda then meet with Tony before the final and let her know that she's glad she's getting the help that she needed while fighting Sam. Daniel makes peace with Johnny and asked him to stand in Sam's corner for the final match. Johnny agrees to bury the hatchet and wishes him the best when, during a routine move, Tori accidentally elbowed Sam in the eye and gets some warning. Silver told Tori to tag the injury eye, but Kreese tells Tori to just find her own way and win with honor. Tori wins the next point and immediately checks on Sam, but she's mobbed by her celebrating teammates as she's handed her trophy. Sam wonders out loud to her dad about where they went wrong, and then runs off in sadness with Daniel, unable to hold in his tears as well. The Cobra Kai students are heading to the ring when Tori overhears a conversation between Silver and the match referee who he had bowed. Silver also tells the crowd to the out about their plans expand to Cobra Kai with the establishment of multiple dojos. Miguel disappears after his semifinal and Johnny blames himself. He leaves a letter explaining how he doesn't feel like he has balance, and he's headed to Mexico to find his birth father to achieve that. Johnny promises to go after him to make sure he is safe. Before that, Johnny runs into Robby, who tells him that he was wrong about joining Cobra Kai and feels like he screwed up everything, including his relationship. Johnny tells him that it will work out and that he'll be there by his side till the end. Silver plays his own games and frames Johnny Kreese for a crime that he committed and takes total control of the dojo while Kreese heads to prison. Daniel calls in Chosen to help him fight back the oncoming threat of Cobra Kai because he cannot just give up being sensei. The season ends with the two of them paying their respects to Mr. Miyagi grave. Well, that's all for Season 4. Thanks for watching this recap. Hope you enjoy Season 5. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more action, drama, and excitement in the next season of Cobra Kai. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video.